Well, the markets are holding with gains of around 65 to 70 points. You look at the screen, it's looking quite good, and it is looking good on the headline index. But keep an eye out on the mid-cap index. Now, that's on the verge of moving into the red. So there are select stocks that are coming for profit booking after the kind of run that we have had. And L&T Finance Holding, just pull up the intraday chart on that one. That stock has come off the high point of the day, so keep an eye out on that stock as well. But let's tell you how to trade the Nifty then. We have Jay Tucker who joins us. Hi Jay, what would your call be at noon, given the fact that the Nifty is up close on 70 points? Do you believe that in fact we're going to head towards maybe yesterday's peak, or will we slide down back towards the 10,700 mark?
Hi, very good afternoon to you, Nigel. Well, Nigel, I think that Nifty has reached to a point wherein we can see some consolidation. In fact, we have been seeing that divergence coming, wherein few of the mid-cap pockets or small-cap names are seeing some profit booking, as well as few large caps are also witnessing some profit booking. I would say that deviation has been seen now, and that divergence, because of such kind of a divergence, I would say that there can be some consolidation within this range of 10,800, 850 on the upside to around 10,600 on the lower side. Eventually, once this consolidation is over, Nigel, I think that Nifty will finally provide a breakout and thereafter moves towards the levels of 11,000 or so. So I would say that one can buy right now, as well as if there is a dip at all around 10,650, 600 levels, and again it can be taken as a buying opportunity, because Nifty is trading overall quite comfortably about 200 DEMA. Until it continues to do so, the overall medium-term trends remains up. Hence, this consolidation or a dip, if at all there is in market, should be utilized as a buying opportunity, targeting around 11,000 on the upside.
Okay, all right, 11,000 on the upside. But what about individual stocks? Because there's so much traction today. I mean, the Bank Nifty is up 200 points. Of course, little volatile. But what are the stocks you're recommending?
Hi, very good afternoon to you, Sonia. Well, I think that as far as stocks are concerned, I would say SBI is one stock which I'm really thinking that this stock is quite likely to perform going forward. The reason is that this stock has clearly provided a breakout from a quite symmetrical triangle, I would say, which is quite obvious on the daily charts. And the stock also seems to have formed a very nice inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish reversal pattern with an increase in volumes as well as clear addition in open interest. This stock is likely to inch towards 210 to 215 levels on the upside. One can buy this with a stop loss of 184. And a second buy recommendation is on United Spirits, that is McDowell's. Now, this stock has provided a very good breakout on the upside. The stock is comfortably trading above its 50 DEMA and 200 DEMA. I would say we've also seen a golden crossover coming in this stock, and there are very few stocks, I would say, wherein we have seen this kind of a golden crossover. So that is quite positive, I would say, for the short to medium term perspective. One can buy United Spirits, targeting around 660 to 665 in the short term with a stop loss of 590.
Okay, I guess people need to keep their spirits high, especially in times like this. Thanks so much, Jay, for joining us. You have a good afternoon. But moving on, retail participation in the markets has surged while institutions have taken a back seat. Prashant is here with some very interesting data. Prashant, over to you.
Thanks for that. Exactly a month ago, on the 9th of June, I had put out data, not just from India, but from around the world, highlighting how retail participation had actually exploded. I cited examples from Korea, from Japan, from the United States, and of course, the market here as well. So 1 month later, I basically decided to do a recheck in terms of what the level of participation is, and the numbers are actually quite startling. Let's dive straight into it. The first graphic on your screen, which should come up, is basically the fact that market activity has exploded. But as the numbers show you, the level of participation by institutions is actually dropping. Look at the numbers. In the month of June, the first row is the turnover, total turnover for BSE and NSE. And the third column is the institutional turnover. This is FII plus DII. June over May, total market turnover went up 37%. How much did institutional turnover go up by? Only 9%. You look at June versus the average monthly figure for the last 5 months, Jan to May. That went up 51.6%. How much during the same period did the institutional turnover go up by? Only 8.7%. So where is this, surge coming from? It is clearly not from institutions. So then we dive deeper. The next table, the table which will come up on the screen, basically shows you the share of institutions as a percentage of total market. So this is FII gross buy, gross sales, DI, gross buy, gross sales as a percentage of total market turnover. And the total market turnover have doubled because there are two sides of the transaction, the buy and the sell. And to use this representation as a percentage, you will need to do that. Institutional participation in the market now stands, for the first 6 days of June, stands at 14.2%. This is a multi-year low. I'm just citing figures on your screen. Over the last couple of months, June, it was 17.2%. I mean, from 17.2 in just 1 month, it's dropped to 14.2. In the month of March, it was 29.2%. Remember, the correction started from all-time highs in February, but the big catastrophic fall all happened in March around the world. And then the market bottomed around the 23rd or 24th and it started to move higher. So March really is a key month. Their institutional participation was 30%. It's now 14.2% the first six days of July. Next, on the flip side, what is not institutional, which is DI and FII, is retail, HNI. It could be, brokerages running their own prop accounts, but you would largely categorize this into HNI and retail. This is now at an all-time, not an all-time high, but a multi-year high, 85.8% in the month of June. So far, this is the first 6 days. In July, it was 82.8%, and it has progressively moved higher. In March, this was just 70.8%. From 70.8%, it's now almost 86%. So the data very clearly points out that, if you're puzzled, scratching your head in terms of what has happened to stocks, and many of these stocks have gone up quite a bit in the recent past, most likely the data suggests that this is not institutional activity. This is not professional money managers who are bidding these prices up. It is HNIs, retails, and the others which are doing it. The reasons could be manifold. It could be people sitting with easy access to internet trading platforms, most of all sitting at home, work from home for many. The other could be the fact that, in debt schemes, etc. Outside avenues in terms of for returns have actually diminished substantially. It could also be probably technical reasons like SEBI coming in and limiting the amount of exposure that institutions could take. That happened sometime late in March, early April. That also could be one factor. So a bunch of things, but this is something which we will need to keep watching closely as time goes by. Back to you guys.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Prashant. Well, the metal stocks have been buzzing around, so let's slip into a short break. You come back, we'll get you an update on the ferrous sector's demand as well as pricing. We'll have the management of Godavari Power and Ispat. Stay with us.